running in person for the first time and inspire you to run. Happy running, New York City.
Hey friends, good afternoon, 5 p.m. here in New York, Friday, November 4. About 70 degrees Fahrenheit here in New York City, beautiful day. And if you can't tell already, it is marathon weekend. New York City Marathon is going to be this Sunday. We're here in Central Park, right next to the finish line actually, where we're going to watch the opening ceremony and the Parade of Nations. Never done that before, so first time here, don't know what to expect. We'll find out together. Big thank you to everybody for joining as we check out and celebrate Marathon Weekend. So we're here at the southwest corner of the park. Nice view of Billionaires Row, 57th Street. And the end of the marathon track. My beautiful wife Lisa is here at home with Caleb. Hello, hello.
Hello everyone, my name is Denise Dormy. I am a citizen of the Navajo Nation and I am from Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Tunisia's here. Always good to see you, Tunisia.
Opening ceremony festivities in New York City.
Thanks for being here. Again, we're here at the finish line of the New York City Marathon for the opening ceremony. There's going to be a Parade of Nations. That's primarily why we're here. Leela's here. Good to see you. And again, we've never done this before, so don't know what to expect. Don't know how long it's going to be for interesting things to happen. But we'll check it out. We'll find out together. Evan C. is here. Absolutely. What's your favorite? And as a reminder, the marathon itself is on Sunday, but this is the opening ceremony, and there's going to be a Parade of Nations. So participants, runners from all over the world are here. We're going to check them out. I think since it's probably going to be a little while for this to get started, why don't we take a little bit of a walk and see what we can see. I was texting Lisa before, and they were playing so much copyrighted music, so we'll see what happens with the stream today. If we disappear, it's entirely possible it's because of the music. But we'll find out. As we're walking around, you can see the flags of various countries. And again, participants, runners from all these countries will be marching by in a little while.
And we've got Kate Herrera Jenkins and her group Native Strength Revolution.
Donna Stedham's here. Always good to see you, Donna. Great pleasure. Donna says, my adopted daughter is running in this marathon from Los Angeles. Well, we will be on the lookout. We will be on the lookout. If you have at some point want to share, if you're comfortable, a bib number, it is our plan to kind of run it, if family stuff is okay, we may run around on Sunday, on the marathon day, to try to spot some runners. So if you're comfortable sharing a bib number, we will look for them on Sunday. If not, no worries. So again, we're here in Central Park for the opening ceremony of the New York City Marathon and the Parade of Nations. Just kind of taking a quick look at the course. But very exciting about your daughter. We have at least one family member we found out will be running, and I'm going to reach out, find out which of my friends is running. Haven't heard yet. But it's such an exciting time. I'm sure we've shared this before, but Lisa, my wife, has run the marathon before. It was an incredible experience, and my mom, her mother-in-law, came to New York, and we not running, but via New York City public transportation, primarily the subway, ran around New York City trying to catch up to Lisa at different spots, and it's one, I think, of both of our fondest memories. It was so much fun. Vinny's here. Good to see you, Vinny. So if any of you missed our last live stream, and candidly, I forget what day it was, but we did a live stream. Was it last Sunday, maybe? It's been a while since we've done a live stream. Our little dude arrived, happy, healthy, mother happy, healthy. His name is Caleb, and he arrived 2 weeks early. So I think, you know, on previous live streams, we had kind of, you could tell things were happening. We were getting closer to our finish line, and he arrived 2 weeks early, 9 pounds, 8 ounces. Mother and father are not getting a lot of sleep these days, but just enough, just beginning to get into a little rhythm as a family. So Lisa is comfortable letting me out of the house every now and then. And here we are at Central Park for the opening ceremony of the New York City Marathon and the Parade of Nations. Never been to this before, so excited to check this out with you guys. And of course, the backdrop is the autumn colors of Central Park. I was looking at the Central Park fall foliage map, and the vast majority of it is peak. I wish it was a brighter, you know, it's what, 5, a little after 5 here in New York, so it's, you know, a little shady at the moment. But on a bright day, the colors are absolutely spectacular. We came to the park earlier today with Caleb, and it was so beautiful. So check out my Central Park videos, because I have lots of videos showing off the autumn colors. Check that out. Rolo's here, 21 Awesome's here. Hello, hello, hello. Good to see everybody. So beautiful here. So I did use my handy dandy press pass to get inside the route for a little while. I took some pictures, which I'll post on the Bagels and Walks Instagram later. But what I was noticing is very, very close to the finish line, there was just so much copyrighted music, which always gives the streams trouble. So we've walked away a little bit, hopefully where it's a little quieter, so we'll have a good view of the parade. Lisa says it's a gorgeous day. It's an absolutely gorgeous day. So it's autumn in New York. It's 5 p.m. now, so sundown is what, an hour-ish from now? But it's like 70 degrees. It's so beautiful. And the colors in the park are just spectacular. Lots of reds, yellows, oranges. It's really, really, really beautiful. So I was thinking, if the parade was a bust, we'd just walk around the park. It's always beautiful. DeBailey 72 is here. Hello and congratulations on the little man, Bagels and Walks. Well, thank you, thank you, thank you. He's so cute. He's so cute. So we've taken him to the park twice now, yesterday and today. Today we were meeting up with some family from here in New York, and actually some who were in town. And so today we walked across the park from one side to the other, and obviously we were hanging out as a family, and he was so well behaved. I mean, we're so lucky. He's very calm. I'm trying to knock on wood that may it ever be thus. So Donna mentioned her daughter's going to be running in the marathon. Does anybody else have family or friends running in the New York City Marathon? Let us know. Lisa's saying that she was telling me earlier, Sunday's race will be the second warmest in New York City Marathon history. I wonder if people like that or don't like that. Would they prefer it to be, I mean, you don't want it to be like icy, but would you prefer it to be cool? I assume you would. Lisa says Caleb's the best. He sure is. We're very, very, very lucky. I was gonna say he's been letting us sleep a little better, but then last night was one of those up every hour, so we did not get a lot of sleep last night. but I think that is probably still more bearable than, you know, constant crying. So, you know, it is what it is. Donna's going to find out the bib number. Steve Handel's here. Good to see you. Yeah, so if you're not familiar, the marathon actually has a really impressive website which lets you add bib numbers to track on a live map. And that's how my mom and I were chasing after Lisa. So we would figure out where she was and how she was pacing. And then we would try to get, you know, 10 or 15 minutes ahead of her so we could try to comfortably get to wherever that location was with a little buffer, and then, you know, wait around to see her. And I have some great pictures of her and my mom meeting up along the track. It was really fun. It was really fun. And Lisa, of course, has the medal. She can always say that she's run the New York City Marathon. An immense accomplishment for anybody. British Gray's here. Good to see you. Always good to see you. And as I walked over here, I'm remembering this because there's a helicopter overhead, but on my way over here, I saw a bunch of the Air Force helicopters flying overhead. So I don't know if that's part of like a display that they'll do around the marathon or what. It was interesting to see. There's a lot of people here, more than I expected. But it should be really fun to see this parade of nations. I was walking, again, I was mentioning I was sneaking in onto the course to take some photos, and there were a ton of people starting to gather. So people from any country you can think of, I saw people from. It was really cool. So I'm excited to see the parade of nations come by. Again, I don't know how long it's going to be. I've never come to this before. But we'll check that out. And then later tonight, there is supposed to be fireworks. So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Thank you.
This year marks the 50th anniversary of an important milestone in the history of female sports. In 1972, the Amateur Athletics Union granted women the opportunity to compete in distance running with a separate start starting either 10 minutes before or after the men. On October 1st, 1972, at the third New York City Marathon, a group of 6 women, Lynn Blackstone, Jane Merca, Liz Franchini, Pat Barrett, Kathy Miller, and Nina Kusick, who is joining us here today, sat down at the start line for 10 minutes to protest the AAU's rule. The women then started the race with the men. These pioneering women helped create a revolution for women in sports and will be honored at the 2022 TCS New York City Marathon.
Were you guys able to hear that? He was sharing some of the history of women in the marathon, including, I guess 50 years ago, a protest that took place where the women did not want a separate start time for the race, protested and joined along with the men. And that one of the original protesters will be here and honored at this year's marathon. I see Ambrose says it's surreal to see the helicopter up close on the Verrazano Narrow Bridge at the start. Yeah, Lisa was telling me about the bridge, how crazy it was in many respects, how busy it was to be on there. All the people, all the energy, all the excitement, all the enthusiasm. Really, really, really cool. I'm glad she got to do that. Ambrose says ABC coverage starts at 5:30. Okay, that's good to know. Yeah, they're doing lots of like introductions and stuff right now.
He is truly the undisputed, the great, the GOAT. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, everyone, please put your hands together for the great Eliud Kipchoge.
Oh, British Gray, just reading your comment. I'm so sorry to hear that. We're sending our love, and I'm sure everybody in the chat shares that with us. Really, really, really sorry to hear that. Everybody send your love to British Gray.
Please welcome Blue Angels Drumline.
So what they just announced may have something to do with the Air Force
You can't miss our
aircraft that we're seeing. They said Blue Angels dance line, drum line.
By adding their miles for their fundraising efforts that support our youth and community programs and events, serving runners of all ages and abilities in the 5 boroughs and across the nation. Since 2002, the runners have collectively raised over $94 million that has helped NYRR continue to help and inspire people through running. Put your hands together to help us celebrate these passionate and dedicated runners and TFT's 20th anniversary.
I see Sue K. Hello, Sue K. Good to see you.
Let's now give it up for our rising youth ambassadors for the free youth program, teaches young participants speech fundamentals, communication, and public skills. To give an opportunity to participate with what they've learned, share their running and events like yesterday's TCS Running Champions. Now I have the honor of welcoming our runners wheelchair training program athletes, some of just great TCS Running Champions yesterday. The free program serves youth with disabilities and offers weekly training sessions on a seasonal basis, in-school resources, and competitive events on the road and track. Give them a big cheer!
Now they're mentioning youth wheelchair roadrunner participants.
Welcome the women of Run for the Future. This program introduces high school young women to the sport of running. It provides lessons, self-start, and
So it looks like they're getting lots of folks gathered, so hopefully, looks like if Ambrose is correct, that things will start in about 14 minutes. So hopefully in about 14 minutes, we'll start to see this show get on the road.
You can see them dancing down the roadway. It's a group like no other. Join me in shooting on more than 50 of our New York Roadrunner Striders. They represent a free walking and fitness program for older adults looking to lead more active lives. The Coach program embraces a holistic approach to fitness by providing guided activities that include walking, pacing.
In fact, it looks like we're getting started earlier than I anticipated, so that's awesome. I see the drummers making their way down, so I think things are getting started a little earlier than we hoped. Grab a drink, stay tuned. We're here for the Parade of Nations at the opening ceremony of the New York City Marathon. read about them. They were really good. And then Team Kids. Lisa in the chat, were you invited to this? I assume you were. This is the Striders. Ambrose mentions Achilles. That's a group I'm familiar with through Lisa. And we also saw them at a disability event here in New York, here in Central Park before. Really worth reading about Achilles and the work they're doing. Big fan. Lisa is still recovering, had some physical therapy, but that was a group she had been planning to get involved in, so well worth reading about. Striders, part of the New York City Roadrunners group. Sword Rock is here. Good to see you. Followed by the Flamingos. Lots of energy for the volunteers of the New York City Marathon. One person's shirt said runner's husband. That's what I am. I'll have to get that shirt. Some serious drumming going on. Here, the signs read 15 plus marathons and counting. Absolutely incredible. Gosh, can you imagine? I cannot imagine. 15 plus marathons and a guy with a GoPro strapped to his head. That's my kind of guy. This person has assigned 41 finishes and counting. 41 finishes and counting. I literally can't imagine. That's awesome. Sword Rock says, hi Sean, Lisa, baby Caleb, and everybody. Hey, it's so good to see you. Thank you for being here as we celebrate New York City Marathon weekend. This is the opening ceremony and the Parade of Nations, starting with various important groups. The most recent group was people who've participated 15 plus times. Ambrose says, I've done 15 New York City marathons, so why aren't you? You should have been in that group. It's awesome. Very, very impressive human accomplishments. Really impressive. I think Lisa's perspective was one and done. Cross that off the bucket list. Amber says, and then I hit life's wall. I mean, 15. Lisa, I think, hit the wall at 1, and I hit the wall at 0. So we're both very impressed. And it does look like the Parade of Nations has begun. I'm beginning to see flags waving. So I hope everybody has a cool drink, something tasty. The next groups will be here very shortly.
Let's welcome all Rain and our flag bearer, consisting of 33 miles. Rain is archipelago in the Persian Gulf.
Oh wow, and I see some really incredible clothes and costume. This is very cool. Zorgrok says, here's to crossing items off the bucket list. Couldn't agree more. I will do so vicariously through you all, but I'll do my best to stream it. And I did see Suke mentioned, very, very kindly mentioned our Halloween video. So I know some folks may have seen live streams, but we did a recording that night. So if you just want to experience the Halloween parade, the music, everything. I didn't cut anything out. I didn't edit it, any of the copyrighted music out or anything, so you can experience the entire Halloween parade. Definitely check that out. It was such a fun time. I had such a good time. And again, big thank you to Lisa for looking after Caleb while I do these ridiculous things. But definitely check out the Halloween parade. We had such a good time. Even in the pouring rain. Yeah, Lisa, we've been taking full advantage of our New York City press pass. So we did get to go on the parade route at the Halloween parade. That was a lot of fun. And I only got yelled at, I don't know, 4, maybe 5 times for being in the way. I see Australia. Australia's in the house. Oh, this is so much fun. Ooh, did they just say Fogo Azul? That's one of the really good marching bands. I hope that's what I hope I heard that correctly. And if you can't hear it already, the cowbells, the noisemakers, everything is out already in preparation for the marathon. You gotta feed energy to the runners, keep them motivated. It's an incredible achievement. But as Lisa and certainly Ambrose can explain, it ain't easy. Belgium. Here comes Belgium. I love it. I love it. Small but mighty. I love it.
To Bulgaria with 4 delegates and flag bearer to the marathon team. Bulgaria is the oldest country in Europe that hasn't changed its name since it was first established.
Amber says 45 total marathons and 15 in New York City. So have you done Boston? What else did you do aside from New York City? Let us know. That's crazy.
Give a welcome to our neighbors from the north.
I like literally can't imagine. I can hardly imagine one, so the thought of 15 or 45 kind of breaks my brain.
It is also the world's second largest country in
Next up is Kate Barry. Single Stereo is our flag bearer, and this feels like running this marathon. It feels like running in the Olympic Games. Only 500,000 people were there, majority from Santiago.
Ooh, I think I heard them correctly. I think it was Fogo Azul, which is this amazing New York City-based marching band. So stay tuned. We have some awesome entertainment coming up as we continue here at the New York City Marathon opening ceremony and the Parade of Nations. Oh wow. We have some serious energy coming because Fogo Azul is leading in the Brazilian contingent and they look like they are having a party. Oh, it's so great. I love it. But leading them off, having a party of their own, Bolivia. I love it. Good for them. I gotta say, some of the small groups has much or more energy than the bigger. That's so good. Bolivia, followed by Fogo Azul, New York zone. Maybe they'd planned to go before, maybe things got interrupted because of COVID or God knows what. And they've made it here to, really one of the premier runs in the world. I'm so happy for them. Ambrose mentions Boston, Philadelphia, Hartford, a small one in Central Park. Lisa did I think it was a half marathon. She'll correct me in the chat if I'm misremembering, but she did one, I think a half marathon in Philadelphia. And it was like a rock and roll themed one. It was a lot of fun. Anyways, we visited Philadelphia for her to participate in that. That was a lot of fun. Up next, looks like Bulgaria, followed by Canada. Big shout out Bulgaria.
Oh, Bulgaria!
Woo! Yeah, Ambrose, it's that sort of thing is a little contagious. Let's just put it that way. Our friends from Canada here.
Oh, Canada!
And I see up next coming are our friends from Chile. Another video, if you haven't watched it, check out our recent live stream. We did the Hispanic Day Parade, countries from all over Latin America, including Chile. So check that out. Lisa says, yep, Philly, really liked that course. I mean, Philly is such a beautiful city. We know people there, lots of fun things to do, great museums, and of course, Rocky. Here's Chile. Followed by another Latin American country, Colombia. Oh, excuse me, and another in between. Oh, it's so cool to see how excited people are. They found their flag. I love it. This is the Colombian flag. That's so cool. Taking a big group selfie in front of the flag. That's awesome. This is really sending me back to elementary school and trying to memorize the different flags of the world. Costa Rica, like this guy's costume. Friends from Costa Rica. Oh, it's a beautiful night. So I'm keeping an eye a little bit on the battery. I did bring a charger. I don't know when the fireworks are going to be, but at some point we may have to switch out the mic for the battery if we need to keep going. So just a heads up on that. But we'll see.
Let's hear it for Guyana and our flag bearer, Marsha Shuri. Guyana is the only English-speaking country of South America.
Now the group that is coming next, I'm trying to think of who it would be, but they're doing some very impressive performance down there.
Family is strong, women, and excited to be out here running on Sunday. There's a huge collection of Mayan ruins in Honduras.
And welcome to Hong Kong with 10 delegates. Flag bearer, Young Arthur.
And here's Fogo Azul making their way back.
Over 7 million people, but over 40% of it is green. So
We've seen them at a number of parades, so definitely check out some of our parade videos. They're awesome. They're really, really, really good.
With 13 delegates, Norbert Mellis is our flag bearer, and after waiting 7 years, is finally getting the opportunity to run the TCS New York City Marathon. Fun fact, the Rubik's Cube was invented by a Hungarian architect. Let's welcome the New York Bhangra Dancers. New York Bhangra is the premier Indian dance group in New York City. Bhangra stands for joy, passion, and the colors of India. This dance is done to mark celebrations and combines the traditions and modernity of India.
Marching with them are the 19 delegates of India, including flag bearer Naran Madison. India is the wettest inhabited place on Earth and has over 300,000.
I don't know if you can hear the random facts that they're sharing about each country. Kind of silly.
Give a cheer for Indonesia with 8 delegates, including flag bearer Faizin.
I'm a little confused as to why they've sort of not been marching down. So hopefully at some point they'll begin moving again.
Different languages and dialects.
Let's hear it for Iran.
They just seem to be sort of gathered down there. I can't explain. Tunisia asked, do they have this parade every year before the marathon, or is this something new? Well, that's a good question. I was asking Lisa if she's familiar, because she did the marathon a few years ago, so maybe she can explain if she remembers this. I don't remember this. That is a good question, though. When I read about it, though, it sounded really good, plus the fireworks afterwards.
Performance right here from Japan. Let's give it up for New York. Eiko Kai.
Marching with them are the delegates of Japan, an island nation that consists of 6,852 islands.
Next we welcome Kazakhstan and our flag bearer, Independent of the Soviet Union in 1991.
So very weirdly, the groups are making their way back up as opposed to down. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go to the other side, which I wanted to do anyways, so that we could be more mobile when the fireworks happen. Because I don't entirely know where they're going to be.
Next, let's welcome Kuwait and our flag bearer, Abdullah.
So bear with me. We're going to try to get a better view and get closer to the finish line.
Great job.
And welcome to Lebanon and flag bearer
If we can.
who has been running to explore new cities and revisit old ones. The main major languages of Lebanon are Arabic, French, English, and Armenian.
Let's welcome Lithuania. Our flag bearer is Mindaugas Statkus. The first time for him here in the United States and is excited to run. The national sport of Lithuania is basketball.
And give a welcome to Luxembourg with 3 delegates, including flag bearer Luke Klonsky. Luxembourg has 3 official languages,
We've entered the course. We haven't gotten yelled at yet, so we'll see what happens. Bear with me. But since they seem to have stopped marching, we need to go to them and find out what's up.
Jenny Chu was born in Malaysia, and the country's motto is unity is strength.
Let's welcome Malta and Jennifer LeBlanc, who is our flag bearer.
See, a bunch of people just joined, so if you're just joining, first, welcome. We're here at the opening ceremony of the New York City Marathon. It's supposed to be the Parade of Nations, but for whatever reason, they haven't been walking down, so we've hopped into the parade route, and we're going to see what we can see. Until we get asked to leave. And do me a favor, if you like this nonsense, subscribe, leave a like. Amber says she found 2016 coverage, so it's been going on at least a few years. And Tunisia says it seems like you always find a reason for a parade. That's one of the great parts about New York. There's always something going on. You never know quite what. I wish I could explain why they've stopped marching. It's so weird. Ecuador. Okay, they sort of seem to be moving again. Followed by our friends from France. Awesome to see. Hello to our friends from France. We've definitely wandered right into the thick of things. Try to get a little closer.
In the country that has more sheep than people.
Let's hear it for Nicaragua and our flag bearer, Silvana Singh. Nicaragua is Central America's largest country.
And say hello to Ireland with flag bearer.
Here's friends from Mexico. All these countries, they seem to have just gathered all together.
Portugal, operating since 1732.
Let's hear it for Singapore!
Really congested, so let me find another spot. Bear with me. We will do what we can, try to find a better signal area. So I think since we're going to have trouble over there, and my minimal at best research says that the fireworks
Slovenia is famous for its beautiful landscapes, lakes,
originate
and dramatic scenery.
farther north. We may actually, I think we're actually gonna, why don't we tour Central Park a little bit? Because kind of no matter where we are, we're gonna be able to see the fireworks. So we're gonna go on a little stroll here in Central Park as we wait for the fireworks.
Please welcome Tayo.
How's that sound?
And part of Tayo is South Africa. Our flag bearer, John Woodnut, probably only South African to have had 8 group podium finishes in New York, Chicago, and London Marathon.
I see walks in camera, good to see you. Okay, so here's the story, because I don't know what was, my connection was acting a little funny there. So for whatever reason, the parade stopped being a parade. They just weren't marching anymore. And then as we got closer to where we could see them, where they were just assembling, we lost our connection. So we're just gonna take a walk around Central Park. But we're gonna keep our eyes to the sky so that when there's the fireworks display, we'll be able to see it. In the meantime, my favorite place in New York City, Central Park. Hope that works for you guys. I must always be flexible. It's a beautiful night here in New York City. And I think the park is going to look really lovely. So let's do a little stroll around the park, see what else there is to see. I am happy we got to see some of the parade. I wish I could explain why it stopped kind of being a parade. I feel like we only got to like the letter C in terms of the alphabet. You can start to see the sun is coming down. The beautiful lamps here in Central Park are coming on. Finish line. It is really cool.
Uganda, our flag bearer, Martin Makumbi, this African.
All right, I think we're starting to see the signal come back. Sorry about that. Like I said, there's just so many people at the finish line that we just could not compete. Oh well. So we're here in Central Park. We're now in Sheep Meadow, One of my favorite spots. It's a gigantic lawn. And if you Google it, you can see pictures of sheep grazing in this meadow. People playing frisbee. Overlooking Billionaire's Row. And as we make our way to the other side, I will turn the camera around so you can see more of the sunset in the sky. It's really gorgeous. And again, it's autumn here in New York City, so the trees, the leaves look beautiful. It's just awesome out. Here's the sky. Check this out. It's just beautiful. So you can see it go from sort of blue this amazing pink, just gorgeous. So we're just gonna walk around the park. Let's go head over to the mall. So again, I was looking at the Central Park foliage updates, which is, you know, they have these people who report on the colors of the leaves. And the mall, the literary walk, one of our favorite little walks, said to be the only straight path in Central Park, is actually post-peak. Has already peaked the colors. Let's go check it out. Let's see how it looks. As I made my way over here to the west side of the park, there were so many leaves on the ground, and it's just the sound, you know, the crunch. It's really lovely. So we're gonna head out of Sheep Meadow, which a tip is just go to the corners. It's sort of shaped like a square, so just go to one of the corners. And around the corners you'll find an exit, hole in the fence. During the day, you look for the hot dog carts, but it's too late for that tonight. But yeah, you look for the hot dog carts because they put themselves where they're easy to get to. So we're gonna go head over to the mall for a moment. And then I think, why don't we check out the ice skating rink? I want to do that first because I want to start walking north, actually. Because if there are fireworks, it's going to be somewhere between where we are now and north. I'm almost positive. Diana Lee is here. Yeah, I'm so glad you could be here. We were at the opening ceremony of the New York City Marathon and the Parade of Nations, but the parade sort of stopped being a parade. People stopped marching for some reason. So we have pivoted and we're now just going to explore Central Park. Night in Central Park. I know lots of people request seeing what the park looks like after sundown. Oh, the colors here are so spectacular. I wish we had more light. You can sort of see it, but the colors are so spectacular. I will definitely be coming back during the day and recording more of the leaves during daytime. I was thinking of coming today during the daytime, but then Lisa discovered the opening ceremony and the fireworks, so we thought that would be more fun. But as always, stay tuned. We come to the park frequently. We do lots of videos from the park. In fact, if you search on YouTube, we have a lot of real estate on that search term at this point. So check that out. So we're on the mall. I think we should go check out the ice skating rink, the Woolman rink. And then after that, we're going to turn around and go north until, I hope, we see some fireworks. Which, let me look at my watch. My watch says 6:04. If I had to guess, it wouldn't be any earlier than 7, but that's just a guess. So we have about an hour for us to explore. And obviously, if anybody has any inside information and knows when the fireworks will be, let me know. And extra credit if they know where it's going to be. They say the finish line, but that's not where it's going to be. I think they'll be near like Belvedere Castle, and you can see it from the finish line. That's my guess, just based on previous fireworks. But we'll find out. We will find out. For now, let's go check out Woolman Rink, the ice skating rink. Nobody's coming, so we're going to hop across, and we'll take a right, and then a left. Dorgrok says, I love when the lanterns are turned on. Yeah, that was cool that we just got to see some come on. So I guess they don't all come on at the same time. I wonder if are they on a timer? They have a brightness setting or something? Who knows? One of my favorite sunset views in the park is the reservoir. There's beautiful lamps around the reservoir, but also you get the silhouette, you know, depending on which side you're on. So if you're on the west side of the park, get this beautiful silhouette of the Upper East Side, or vice versa. Really recommend that. And Lisa and I, when Caleb was born, his grandparents came to town, and one night they looked after him. Lisa and I went to dinner, and on our way to dinner, the sky was this brilliant pink. I mean, well, I guess tonight is pink. I would say that was like almost red. Oh, we've gone the wrong way because this is blocked off. Okay, well, we'll go through the dairy and then we'll hang a right. This is the dairy, which is also the visitor center at Central Park. Really beautiful building. What was I saying? Okay, so yeah, so we went to dinner one night, and it was sort of, if this is pink, that was like somewhere between pink and red. And so we hopped in for a moment by the reservoir and got to see this absolutely brilliant sunset. And it was just perfect. There were so many people coming out, you know, taking their phones out to take pictures of it. It just stopped everybody in their tracks. It was beautiful. I love those experiences where everybody, you know, has the exact same thought or the same reaction, you know, of awe at what they were seeing. That was really cool. Let me pause here for a second just because this is a cool view of Billionaires Row. And it looks like the sun is really going down, so the pink is kind of dissipating, and we're going to we're switching to,
So for my background, I'm a certified financial planner.
We're switching to blue. So this is a famous kind of lookout rock point. I will tell you, it always makes me nervous looking at people on it, that somebody's going to take a wrong step. Especially little kids, it always makes me very nervous when I see them on there. We're going to sneak down here and go check out Woolman Rink. And I think we've already hit the copyright wall, so that ship sailed already. That's okay. It's all about exposure, right? Lisa says maybe the fireworks are at 6:30. Okay, well we're just coming for a quick peek and then we'll head north. We will head north after we take a quick peek at the ice skating rink. Uh-oh. Yep.
I think, okay.
And if you want to continue watching the opening ceremony of the parade, Ambrose did say it was on ABC, so check that out if you want. It's just they stopped being a parade, they stopped marching for some reason. So it ceased being as interesting. All right, so it looks like we got the Zamboni on the rink and maybe some staff. It does look like there's people down there. So I bet there will be ice skating after the Zamboni runs. Should we wait for a couple minutes and see some ice skating? I'm trying to keep an eye on the time in case Lisa's correct. We have 20 minutes. If she's correct that it's at 6:30, we have 20 minutes. So this is one of our favorite views in the city, overlooking 5th Avenue and 59th Street. So dead center is the Plaza Hotel. And whether you're here, and of course even better is Gasto Bridge. But these are some beautiful views over here. So let me know if you want to hang around and see if we can see some ice skaters. Otherwise, we're going to start heading north and make sure we don't miss the fireworks. This is Billionaires Row, 57th Street. Starting to see the skyline light up. Love seeing the lights on the buildings turn on. Really cool. Okay, if I see the pattern that he's doing, he's going from the outside in. It's going to take forever for the Zamboni to finish. So I think we're gonna bail, and we're gonna start heading north towards Belvedere Castle, because that's my guess as to where the fireworks will be launched. Because they have to be launched, as far as I can tell, from somewhere high. So that's my guess. So we're gonna head in that direction and hope for the best. In fact, we'll walk up the mall. We'll get a good, let me show you the dairy that we just walked through. Let me show you what it looks like from the outside. All lit up, it's beautiful. Look at that. So that's the dairy. Again, if you come during the day, that's the visitor center here at Central Park. What a view. And on a warm day, this hill gets covered with picnickers. It's really beautiful. Okay, so we're gonna head over to the mall again. We're gonna walk north. We'll head towards Bethesda Terrace. As our next stop. It's just beautiful out. Yeah, I think so, Diana. I think so. It's really stunning, isn't it? Here's another view of the people on it. The park is so romantic at night, isn't it? And I mean, I wouldn't recommend necessarily going into like the Ramble late at night, but a lot of the big paths are, you know, they're lit up. There's generally, you know, some folks around, especially on nights like this where there's an event. There's a lot of people actually, and plus a lot of security. Like I said, you know, might not recommend necessarily going into the Ramble, which is kind of like the wooded areas. But if this is something you want to do, you want to go to the ice skating rink, you want to check out the castle or the terrace at night, those are things, you know, you can do. Often at the terrace, which is where we're headed next, there's live music at night. Just musicians. I don't mean like concerts or anything, just, you know, some of the musicians will play at night. It's really nice. So we'll see what's happening tonight. Walks and Camera said great view just then. Yeah. So the southeast corner of the park, I think, it's so picturesque for many reasons. I see Victory. Good to see you. Hope all is well. Has a math test coming up. Oof. Those are tough. Those are tough. When I get another good view, I think we had one sort of at Sheep Meadow, but when I get another good view of it, I'll show you guys the moon. We have a very nice moon tonight. A little bit of like clouds in this, like kind of hazy clouds, so it looks really nice. So if you're keeping track at home, we're back on the mall. This time we're heading north. We're going to go towards Bethesda Terrace. I want to head towards the lake area, kind of in a central area, so that we might have a chance of seeing these fireworks, part of the marathon opening ceremony. Marty's here, good to see you. Hope everyone is well. Hope you're well as well. It's good to see you. Again, a big thank you to Lisa, my wife. Our newborn has arrived, Caleb, and she's at home watching him so I can wander around with you guys. So big thank you to Lisa for doing that. I will be changing many a diaper tonight. So it's a little late, but you can see on the ground some of it, just, you're not able to see the colors quite as much, but you can see all the leaves on the ground. It's really beautiful, and you get the sound of the leaves as you walk. Lots of runners here in the park, perhaps preparing for Sunday's race. see you guys in the chat sending your love to our mini bagel. Thank you. We're really, 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 really happy he's here. Lisa's really, really, really happy that he's healthy. That's all that matters. But that he arrived a little early because he was getting awfully big, and he was projected to continue growing considerably, which was physically taxing, as you might imagine. So we're happy he's here. We're happy to get to spend real life time with him. It's amazing. We don't sleep a lot. Last night we were up literally like every hour. We think he might be having a little tiny growth spurt. But in any event, it's really fun to spend time with him. Every day, you know, he's a little different, you know, a little more aware of the world. It's fun to experience that. So we've made it to the top of the mall. This is the Naumburg Bandshell. Marty, October 12th. October 12th. Don't ask what time though. Rough memories. Has Caleb filmed a walk yet? No, not yet. But he's so, like I said, he's awfully big. And so he's very close to being able to be in one of those carriers. You know, so we use the stroller now, which is fun. But I think I'm kind of looking forward to trying out this carrier. Okay, so we've made it to the end of the mall. This is Bethesda Terrace. And I think if we go down, we'll have a pretty clear sky. So I just want a clear sky so whenever the fireworks happen, that, you know, hopefully we'll have a view of it. That's all I'm trying to solve for right now. Obviously, we'll see some amazing sights no matter where we are, but I don't want to miss the fireworks if we can. Oh, that sounds like fireworks. Holy. Whoa. I thought really strongly about panning the camera down because it was like daylight at the end there. Oh my God. Oh my God, that was wild. Okay. Whew. So, that was so crazy. My ears are ringing. So I was gonna say, I think the phone does a thing where when there's really loud noises, like it will lower the volume on its end. And so my hey, it's too loud where you are thing, like you should consider moving. So because I thought the fireworks were much closer than I thought they would be. So we were right there. Like they were right above us. That was so cool. But my ears are definitely going to be ringing for the next 24 hours. But that was so cool. I'm glad we got to see that, and I'm glad the timing worked out pretty well. So we're still here. We're still in Central Park. We'll do a little bit of walk. I saw a bunch of cool comments during the fireworks, so thank everybody for that. I saw Joanne joined, and it made me think of something, which is now that the chat's getting a little bigger, what I'm noticing is sometimes I don't see everybody's chats all the time. I don't know if it's a connection thing. I don't know if it's a, the app just doesn't show every chat just because there'd be too many or what. But since most of you on here are kind of on here regularly, just know I'm not ignoring any chats. Sometimes I literally don't see them. And I know this because I remember what I see during the stream, and then I'll go home and look at the chat. And sometimes there's just stuff that was like, that didn't show up on my screen. So if I've missed your chat, it is not intentional. I hope you know that. So anyways, we're here in Central Park. We're gonna walk around a little bit. Most people only show the park during the day, but we're here, so we might as well see some night views of the park. ICGG NYC. Yeah, the noise was unbelievable. This is one of my favorite spots. So we're underneath Bethesda Terrace. This is called the Bethesda Arcade. And these are the Minton tiles. They're these beautifully shiny, bright, colorful tiles covering the ceiling of the Bethesda Arcade. Then the walls have these sort of paintings on it. It's utterly beautiful. So if you ever come to Bethesda Terrace, make sure to go downstairs. You probably will because you want to see the fountain. But you walk through the arcade, there's always great music, or almost always. During the day, you'll see lots of interesting things happening. So you'll see engagement photos, wedding photos, modeling photos even. And then just the architecture and the Minton tiles themselves are so beautiful. We're gonna walk towards the east a little bit. Well, first, this is the mall. We walked it earlier, so I'm not gonna walk it for a third time, but just so you could see the lamps at the mall kind of lit up. Really beautiful. Leela says the acoustics are amazing in there. They really are. We'll come back for sure during the day when there's even more music happening. I think we're gonna walk east a little bit. See some of the park sites. And then maybe we'll go over to like Park Avenue or something. A little bit of New York City at night. Yeah, Leela, they stay lit up, and In fact, they may even look better at night. Maybe it's because you have more of the place to yourself. But weren't those fireworks incredible? So I will probably, what I'll probably do is I should get a backup of this video, which is generally higher quality than what YouTube gets, just because connection issues. And I'll probably cut out the video and post just that. It'll still only be 1080p, it won't be 4K, but I'll try to share that later on. That was so cool. It was so loud. And I think a lot of people in the park didn't necessarily know there was going to be fireworks, so I definitely, unfortunately, for all of you mentioning it, definitely heard some upset pups. And since where we were so close to it, really feel the fire, you know, the percussion, like when they pop, you could really feel it, like in your chest. Really something. Walks in Camera says they were made in the UK, Minton tiles. Yeah, I have to do more research on them. They're so beautiful. There's a lot of tile work in New York City. Most people probably are familiar with it from the New York City subway. There's a lot of mosaics in the subway. Sorry, I'm just trying to carefully make my way across.
I tried to take a business like you did today.
We're gonna go over to the sorry for the clacking as I run across the street. We're gonna go over to Conservatory Water, which on a summer day you might recognize as the model sailboat pond. Let me move my sunglasses. It's not bright anymore, but it's going to keep clanking on my hoodie. Yeah, Marty's saying they were in the 60s by the finish line. I was so convinced they'd be farther up. But yeah, I think you're right. I think they were at basically at the finish line, maybe a little north of the finish line. So a little bit north of where Tavern on the Green is. Because we were at Bethesda, which is along 72nd Street, and I think it was like there or a little farther north, but very close and so loud. That was really cool. So, you know, it's dark in the park, but when you're by a lamp, it can be reasonably well lit. Check out the Conservatory Water, and then I think we'll head out of the park and go over to like Park Avenue or something. Just want to see the reflections on the water. I think that'll be pretty. So this is Conservatory Water. Really beautiful place in the park. You can see the lamps reflecting on the water. Beautiful here. All right, we're just gonna start heading out. I think we'll head over to Park Avenue and walk around a little bit. Haven't done Park Avenue at night in quite a long time. And then in a little while I have to head home, have dinner with the family. Oh, I said I was going to show you guys the moon. Here's the moon. That's a good view. Let me play with the exposure and the zoom. Let's try zooming all the way in. Beautiful. Beautiful moon over the 5th Avenue luxury apartment skyline. Good night, moon, on our little dude's bookshelf. Oh, I'm so happy we got to see the fireworks tonight. Big shout out to Lisa, who's saw that they would be happening and then saved us again by telling us it would be probably half an hour earlier than I had guessed. I guess one of the pleasures of such an early sundown here in New York City now is that they'll do stuff like that earlier. Can't complain. And like I said, I will, if I get a backup of this video, I'll try to get a somewhat higher quality edit of the fireworks that you can share. That was really cool. So we're exiting the park here, 72nd Street and 5th Avenue. Always recommend this as a really good entrance to the park if you're in this area, because it has such easy access to the mall and Bethesda, Tavern on the Green on the other side of the park, etc. It's just a great spot for entering the park. Gonna cross 5th Avenue now. Busy New York City streets. Lots of people are out. It's so nice out now.
And like
70 degrees when we started the stream, so it's probably a couple degrees cooler. But for fall, this is like as good as it gets. And since we are at 72nd Street, on our right at Madison Avenue is going to be the Rhinelander Mansion, otherwise known as the Ralph Lauren Mansions. So if you're in the mood, or excuse me, if you're in the market for some very expensive clothing, this is your place to be. But also they have a coffee shop. And I got to tell you, during the day when you walk by that coffee shop, so again, it's Madison Avenue and 72nd Street, it's one of the best smelling coffee shops in the city. Very fashionable people having their coffee there. And across the street, the Madison Avenue, the men's shop for Ralph Lauren. I have a viewer, loves when we visit the men's shop and share kind of the season's windows. So it's kind of dark, so I don't think I'm going to do that tonight, but I will come back. We'll do a daytime Madison Avenue walk, and I'll make sure we get the windows. We try to come, like once a month, see any updates. But isn't that a beautiful building? So my understanding is the woman who had it built never actually lived in it, which is just incredible. And then on this side, I think it's like there's the kids shop, I think the women's department, and the home goods, I think, are on this side. Is that right, Ambrose? I don't think I've ever been in the last fireworks we saw in Central Park. We were at there was a concert on the Great Lawn, the Philharmonic, and those I'm pretty sure were shot from around Belvedere Castle. skateboarder. So we're on 72nd Street between Madison and Park. Make our way over to Park Avenue. Haven't walked on Park in a long time at night. It's like if you're anywhere in New York City or the New York City area, it's so nice out right now. I cannot begin to describe. This would be an excellent night for outdoor dining. You can see the autumn pumpkin displays. Beautiful. Let's see, what is it? It's about 6:45. Lots of people out after work. Maybe going to dinner now. Busier, the city in general, very busy now. Much busier than it's been in a long time. So we're gonna walk north, but before we do that, I'll point the camera south when we're in the middle of the street. So we can see the MetLife building. And some of the towers of Midtown. Well, Leela, you can always go for just the coffee. Okay, I'm gonna hop across the street since nobody's going yet. Don't do this at home, kids. Don't do this at home. And we're just gonna stroll up Park Avenue for a little bit as I make my way back to my family. Oh, I'm like really happy the fireworks worked out. So we got to see a little bit of the Parade of Nations for the opening ceremony of the New York City Marathon. We stopped like halfway through because they stopped marching for some reason. I have no explanation for why that was. It's like they just didn't really have that figured out, even though there were lots of people lined up along the parade route. Kind of disappointing. And then did a little bit of a tour of Central Park, and then the amazing fireworks display. So again, I'll try to, if I get a backup file of the video, I will cut out just the fireworks so you can share that with your friends quite easily and revisit it. And then we don't have much of a plan yet, but if Lisa's okay with it, you know, we'll try to go out for a little bit on Sunday to just kind of chase the marathon a little bit. And again, if you want to comment or whatever, let us know any bib numbers. You know, we'll do our best to look for people that you know. But you can do that on Sundays as well. We're out. Last time I went to the marathon, I just kind of like ran around the city because seeing it in different areas is both really interesting, but also like the crowds from different neighborhoods are very different. So like, for example, along 59th Street, which is very close to the finish line, it's a, you know, like, obviously people who know runners, but a lot of the tourists, you know. And then if you go to, I don't know, 5th Avenue and 100th Street, it's different than, I want to say it's like 1st Avenue. You know, it's just different crowds. So, don't really have a plan yet, but we may try to be out and just kind of chase the parade around. This is one of the art galleries here, Park and 75. It's always beautiful late at night. The art is always changing. Last time I was here, there was like TV screens and stuff. This is very different. This looks like kind of watercolors. Mary Weatherford Epilogue, if you want to Google that. G. Stevens is here. Nice, very nice. Surfboard is here. Good man. Good Friday evening. Good to see you. We're just kind of strolling around Park Avenue on the Upper East Side now. After a beautiful time in Central Park. Diana Lee says maybe something to do with security. Yeah, I have no idea, because I mean the parade route was all locked down. They just weren't marching anymore, and I don't know if that, like what I sort of saw happening was the groups were coming back, and I wonder if the later groups were seeing them gather and thought, oh, we should just gather as well instead of march. But obviously, you go to a parade to see them march. So I don't know. Parade kind of broke down. You never entirely know what you're going to get. Box and Camera says this is a cool walk. Well, I love Park Avenue at night. I mean, I love Park Avenue at any time. It's one of the more relaxing avenues in the city to walk along. So I have a ton of videos of just strolling Park Avenue. And at night, just really relaxing. Nice lights, cool buildings, and not as overwhelming as you know, like Midtown might be. Let's just take a look at some of the apartment buildings kind of lit up. But yeah, if you're just joining, you definitely want to go back like, I don't know, 30 minutes-ish to see those fireworks. Again, I'll try to make a copy of just the fireworks later on. But definitely I should scroll back 30 minutes and check that out. It was really something. Really cool to see. Crossing 77th, which is where Lenox Hill Hospital system is. Thus all the flashing lights, ambulances, and so on. Surfboard says, saw it at the Halloween parade. We loved the Halloween parade. We had a blast. Have a full video of the Halloween parade from inside the barricades, if you want to check that out. Got to see everything up close, and we stuck to it, even with the rain. So after this video ends, maybe you'll check that out. The highlight, I would say for most people, was the Thriller dance. And I did my best to add chapters of all the various groups, so you can very easily find the Thriller dance. Just go to the chapters, search the video description for the word Thriller. Box and Camera says, seems like lots of parades in New York City. Yeah, we've been trying to make a bigger effort of going to the different parades this year, and we have noticed that as well. In fact, I created a playlist of parade videos. Some are live, some are recorded. And I've noticed it's getting longer and longer. And if you can hear the train tracks, there actually are train tracks running underneath Park Avenue. And if you go all the way to 97th Street, 97, you can actually see them emerge. It's pretty cool. And they obviously run into Grand Central on 42nd Street and Park Avenue. Kind of a cool sight. I have some videos. If you check out our older videos from Park Avenue, I definitely have some, including live or recorded, whichever your preference. of Park Avenue farther north. We're not going to go that far tonight, but if you want to see what the trains look like going into or going underneath Park Avenue, it's pretty cool. And that happens at 97th Street. It's a really interesting city when you walk all around it. There's a lot happening above and below ground.
If you let me go, I would find out.
Yeah, the last parade before this was the Hispanic Day Parade.
Excuse me. Would you like to help me in my
I'm sorry, I can't. I see a pizza delivery here. Yum. Yum, yum. I think Lisa and I were planning on having Thai tonight. Let me know what you're having for inspiration. We'll see if she's still down for that or if she would prefer something else when I get home. We were talking to our family earlier today. I was saying earlier we saw some family in Central Park earlier today. So that was actually my second time in Central Park today. That we are trying to expose Caleb to all sorts of food from all over the world. Obviously it's too early for him to eat it himself directly. But we're doing the best we can. Diana Lee says, why are drivers so impatient? I think I'm gonna have to bow out of any car topics tonight. I get way too worked up about that topic, but suffice to say, congestion charging now, congestion charging forever.
So why this like
There's a car near where we live that was recently booted because of violation tickets. And every time I see it, I chuckle. But that's New York. Lisa says, don't get him started. No, don't get me started, please. We've talked about this before. The city needs fewer cars and more restrooms. That's the last I will say about that topic tonight. Diana Lee had a toasted banana sandwich. That sounds so good. Surfboard had a meatball sub. We had Italian sandwiches for lunch today. Mozzarella, roasted peppers, pesto. Oh, broccoli rabe. So good. So good. There's a Italian market near us. You wait 30 minutes in line just because it's very popular. But the sandwiches are really good. That was a great lunch. It was a little bit of a treat because we were out and about, so we don't do that very often, but that was fun. Yeah, whenever I'm at an intersection, I tend to point the camera at the intersection or across the street, just for variety and so forth.
yeah.
And at night, a lot, you have the drivers and you have the delivery people, and they do not go well together, unfortunately. Don't be sorry. It's just a funny topic. It's just one of those topics that, it's not going to be resolved until, you know, it's not going to be resolved anytime soon. Let's just put it that way. Nobody wants it to be resolved. Everybody wants it to be resolved, but nobody wants it to be resolved because nobody could possibly agree on a solution. But I always tell people, check out old movies of New York City, like Breakfast at Tiffany's, and look at the streets, and you'll notice something really interesting, which is that there are very, very, very few cars, because for a long time, I think until the 50s, on-street parking was not a thing in New York City. People don't know this. The city looks completely different when you look back at that. All right, we're coming up to 86. This is where I'm gonna say goodnight. Again, loved spending this time with you all. This was super fun. I should get a backup copy of the video. Like I said, I'm gonna edit out the fireworks and make a dedicated video of that because I thought it was so cool. And then, you know, we'll see what happens. But hopefully we'll try to do some streaming on Sunday where we'll kind of run around the city looking for runners. You know, so if you know anybody in the race, keep that in mind, and we'll do our best to try to find them if that's possible. And then lastly, if you're new to the channel, I try to post every day. Most of my walks are recordings, so they're more like city sounds, kind of ASMR, no dialogue, just walks around the city. I just throw on a camera and take you on walks that I take during my day-to-day life. And then we try like once or twice a week to go live. It's been a little erratic with the birth of our son, but he's here now. So hopefully as we figure our kind of rhythm out and everything, we'll get back in the habit of doing these more often, where we can hang out together. But as always, want to give a big New York City thank you to everybody. We love spending this time together. Hopefully a little more this weekend. Stay tuned, hit the notification bell, and we'll see you all again soon. Have a great New York night, wherever you are. See ya.